Welcome back to the studio with Alex Yemek. Today I'm going to talk about relationships. The 3 mistakes most women make in a relationship. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about women, but I'm going to have another video where I'll talk about men. The very first mistake most women, not every woman, right? Most women make is when they first enter a relationship. What is the things that they focus the most when they first enter? He's so romantic, he's cute, he buys me gift, and all of that, right? The problem is that very first 6 months of the relationship is actually the time when women need to make their rules. And most women miss that time because they are into this honeymoon stage where they, just want it to last forever, knowing very well that when you first meet with someone, the person is going to be in their best behavior. That's just how it is. They're not going to show you, their weaknesses. That very first 6 months is the time when a woman needs to make her rules, right? She needs to ask herself questions. What type of man is he? How is he when he gets upset? How does he treat women? Does he view women like the second-class citizens? Can he be a responsible man? How is his background? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to know all of this, at one time, but these are things you need to work on immediately as you enter that relationship by asking questions, right? And observing the way a person reacts. It's going to take time, and that's why it requires at least 6 months to 1 year to know some of the basics. Unfortunately, most women don't do this. Now, they know very well that this honeymoon stage is going to fade out, but they live in this bubble where they just don't want to get out of it. And when things go wrong later, they start blaming the man because they always play the victim, right? Oh, he's bad, he has changed. When we first started, he wasn't like this. Well, people don't just change. You have to understand that. He's starting to show you his real personality that you didn't take time to learn when you first met him. And women have this belief that, and this is more for like African women, right? They have this belief that because they cook, that the man, once the man tastes their food, he's not gonna leave them. He's just gonna be with them. Or some women think, oh, well, if I give him a good sex, right, that he's just not gonna go. Look at all his body and all of that stuff, right? You have to understand, once human beings get used to something, a lot of times they want new stuff, right? And that's what leads irresponsible men to other women, starting having an affair with other women and all of that. So it takes a lot of responsibility for someone to actually say, you know what? I appreciate this woman and I'm gonna stay with her. But you as a woman, you have to make this happen when you first meet him by knowing him, the things that he likes, the way that he reacts, right? How he reacts when he gets upset. Does he beat women and stuff like that? So you have to try to find these things out and draw your red lines and say, you know what? No, cursing and hitting and all that, no, we are not going there. If you want to go there, we are stopping here. You can draw your red lines within that first 6 months. And a man at that time, because he just met you and he's still really excited about you, you guys are still talking all night on the phone and all that stuff, he can still try to work on making those sacrifices. You have to understand one thing with human beings is that nothing on earth can fully satisfy a human being. Nothing. We are composed of a spirit, a soul, and a body. 3 parts. And in order for a man to be fully satisfied, all these 3 parts have to be satisfied. Of course, the desire, which is the body, right? Attracted by physical and material things. And then you have the soul, which is attracted by emotions and things that love can bring. And so the spirit is connected to spiritual things or the spirit that created it. There is no way a man, a human being, will find satisfaction on earth. But we can have a clear and clean conscience. And that is what we call happiness for us as human beings, is a clear conscience. That we know that we are doing the right thing. And that is why when you get into a relationship, it's very important that you set those rules so that you can have a clear conscience. It is very important. As long as you know you're doing the right thing, then you will find happiness. But it comes at a cost. You have to sacrifice. That is what it is. And missing that opportunity the first time is critical, because it is at that moment that you determine your relationship. Everything else that comes after that will be based on how you first started that relationship. The beginning is always important. The second mistake that women make in a relationship is that they use emotions for everything. Now, let me start by saying this. It is not every man who cheats. I know women, you're disappointed to hear this, right? Because a lot of women say this, oh, every man cheats. Oh, that's not true. That's not true. It's not every man who cheats. A woman who constantly say this is because she's using her emotions. She got hurt, or maybe she saw somebody get hurt, because that's how women use their emotions. As soon as they get hurt or they see somebody else, their friend, get hurt, emotion becomes everything. These women, most of the time, don't take time to reason things out. So you are in a relationship with a man and a man decides to leave you. All of a sudden, if a woman don't want a man to leave him, I mean, she will do anything to satisfy that hurt that she's going through. Even if it means destroying the man, killing someone, or whatever, right? Those who can kill, right? She will do anything. I've seen women where, because a man decided to leave you, right? She's, accusing him falsely. All of a sudden, thing that they used to do together, or maybe they used to have some fight together. All of a sudden, he committed domestic violence. He's a cheater. Even if she hasn't seen him doing it, right? Things that she didn't think when she was with him and everything was peacefully, things that she didn't see as a big deal. Now she's, is out there. She's looking for everybody and anybody that she can, tell, so that she can do everything to stop the pain, right? The pain that she's having because the man is leaving her. There are even women who go far as turning the children against their own father because he's leaving. I've seen women running away with children, right, so that the father would not see them. And specifically, this is like really in countries like United States, Canada, European countries where women have a lot more power, right? When a relationship ends, most of the time the women will stay with the children and the man has to pay child support or something like that. And women, because they're upset, right, those who are upset that the relationship stopped, they will do anything to try to destroy this man, even if they have to destroy the children in the process. Unfortunately, that's true. There are many women who have done this. There is no justification to try to turn children against their father or keep children away so that the father will not see them. There's never any justification for that. It doesn't matter what the father did. The father may have, beat you or whatever, don't never try to focus on talking bad about the father to the children, or keeping him away from the children, unless if he's like a threat to the children. Then that's a different story. You have to go to the police, file a report, investigation, and all of that thing. Okay, that's normal. But if you yourself knew, because you were with this man, you didn't have any problem until he decided to leave you. So all of a sudden now he's that dangerous person. All of this, all of that is not necessary, because what you're doing is that you're not just trying to destroy this man, you are destroying the children. At one point in time, these children will grow up and will want to know who the father is. If the father is a bad person, nature will deal with it. The children will find out and they will make their own decision. So it's not on you to try to turn children against their father, and putting all your energy. I have seen even parents maltreating children because of the father. We've seen them, celebrity talking about, how their mother beat them, put them on, took them into orphanages or whatever because the father left. And now they grew up, the mothers is on TV apologizing and all that stuff. We've seen these things happen. All of that is because women in the relationship barely use their reasoning power. Most women who suffer are those who don't want to understand this. This is just selfishness. See, they want to stick into being satisfied. If they are not satisfied, then this marriage cannot work. He has to satisfy me. Look, that's not how it works. Treating someone well takes a lot of effort. When he first met you, or when you first met him, everybody behaved well. It was beautiful then. It is normal for human beings. But you must transition when you take the relationship seriously, because it's going to change. Because you are now going to discover his weaknesses and all of that stuff. Both of you are not the same anymore. You don't look the same. He doesn't look the same anymore. So how do we survive? How do we live? It is always an effort to try to please one another. There are some women, he doesn't please me, therefore I'm not going to make the effort. Women, you have to understand one thing. Between a man and a woman expire faster than a man. Unfortunately, a woman at 30, 35 years old who is not yet married needs to start worrying. A man can go all the way to 60, 70 years old and have a young woman without worrying too much. But we cannot say the same for women. So women need to make more effort so that they can have what they want. Unfortunately, that's how it is, right? I hate to tell you that, but that's how it is. That's just how the world is. This notion that, these happen every time women are angry. They always talk about these things. Well, he's bad. You go around telling everybody how your man is bad. Well, you have to understand one thing. I know you're not going to like this one, but understand one thing. There is no way possible that someone can treat you badly without you participating into that. Well, yes, some women say, I've done nothing. He's just been bad to me. He's been cheating on me. Yes, you probably didn't do anything. You probably didn't cheat. Yes, that's right. I believe that. You probably didn't act disrespectful. But you have to understand, it's not just your action, but you can also be passive. When you first meet a man and you allow him to do everything, or you are also on the wrong. That is a vice. You can't just meet a man and just become like a slave to him, where you just do everything that he asks you to do. No. Or if there are some men, if he sees you act this way, he's like, okay, no problem. He's going to go ahead and do whatever he wants to do. He can cheat in front of you. He can do whatever he wants. Why? Because you are acting like a slave to him. You are satisfying every needs that he wants. And that's a problem right there. Nothing happens for nothing. Oh yes. If you take a glass you put on top of a table, if that glass falls, everybody will know that something happened for that glass to fall. And that's how life is. If something bad is happening to you, you got to look at yourself. Have I been too passive? Is it that I've just allowed everything to happen? Or my action, have I been too disrespectful to him? All of that you have to ask yourself. And another thing you have to understand, because women say, men are bad. He's doing this and he's doing that. Look, if he's bad, you're bad too. If you're going around telling people your man is bad, but you've been living with him all these years, understand that you are bad too. You guys are the birds of the same feather. Because light and darkness don't mix. No. If you end up with a bad man and you are good, he's going to run away from you. Because light and darkness don't mix. A faithful man, when he tells you that he leaves, most of the time is not because of another woman. It's because of something you probably did or something else. And if you say he's gone, he's gone. Because a faithful man, when he is there with another woman, he's going to be faithful to that woman too. He's not going to come back to you because he understands the pain of unfaithfulness, or just leaving a woman like that just because I have to go back to my first. No. So you better believe it, and you need to start thinking of how you're going to survive. Stop trying to bring him down. But an unfaithful man, when he tells you that he leaves, don't believe him, man. He's already unfaithful. Nothing that comes out of the mouth of a cheater is true. The only thing that's probably true is just when he says his name. That's all. Everything that he tells you has been a lie. So if he says he's going to leave, don't worry about it. He'll come back. But the reality is that you don't even want a man like this. So don't worry about it. If a man says he wants to go, let him go. And use your reasoning power to take care of your children if you have children. How are you going to survive is very important. The third and final mistake women make in a relationship is when they enter in a relationship hoping that a man is going to make all the money and they're just going to sit at home doing nothing. Now, let me say this. If this is an arrangement between you and your man, it's fine, right? If you guys think it's good for you guys, for the women to stay at home, taking care of the children and all that, and the man works, if it works for you, it's fine. But my advice to women is that before entering the relationship, they should not be hoping on that. A lot of women, specifically in African countries, it's like, oh, the man, and they look for a man who has money too, right? If you look for a man who has money, you're not entering the marriage for love, right? Let's just be honest with each other. You're not there for love. So if you get a bad treatment, don't be surprised, because you yourself, you entered with bad intentions. You enter just because you wanted money. So, don't try to play the victim here, okay? Entering a relationship always has to be because of love. Doesn't matter what happened, whether he has money or not, I just love him. But as you are entering the marriage, always think, if something happened to the man, how would you survive? That should be your question. I've seen where a man is married, he brings his woman, they have 3 children, then he dies. The woman is very young, the children are very young, just died of cardiac arrest, and the woman has to start learning how to survive. She has to look for a job, she wasn't working, she was going to school, and things like that. They moved from the big house where they used to stay to a small 1-bedroom house with 3 children and all that stuff. Look, that is not a good thing. Specifically in these countries, right, Western countries, men, when they come here, they work a lot, right? A man can work 1-2 jobs, and he wants his wife to stay at home. It's tiring, mentally, physically, emotionally, and he comes at home, he has to satisfy you as a woman as well. So you have to remove that from your head. It doesn't matter where it is, whether it's Western countries, Africa, whatever. No, you have to remove that out of your head. In this 21st century, things are changing too fast. Find a way to make money with your man. Raise your family together. If you believe that that's not for you you and your couple to do that, well, that's on you. But think about it. If something happened to him, the one who's making all the money, how would I survive? And another thing is that when a man is making all the money, there are men out there who can just maltreat you because he's making all the money. He knows you're not going to go anywhere. He'll be out there, with women, other women, doing his thing. Why? Because he has the money. You threaten to leave, and it's like, yeah, get up and go. How are you going to survive? Specifically in Africa, for example, right, where laws are not as tough for women as it is in Western countries. What do you think is going to happen to you as a woman? You're in there in a relationship and you don't have any source of income. You are hoping on him, and he's bringing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wives in the house because he thinks he has money. How do you do? And those are things you need to think about. Another thing that surprised me about women, right? And like I said, not every woman, but most women. See, they always say these things. Oh, men cheat, all men cheat, men are not serious and all that. Yet they enter a relationship with the man, saying that men cheat, men are not serious. They're in there. And then when it happens, they're shocked, right? Why are you shocked? You already predicted it was going to happen. So what is shocking now? You say all men are not serious. All men cheat. Then your man cheat, you are surprised and you are hurt. You should have prepared yourself for it because you announced it in the beginning, right? So, my advice to women is this. Look, do the right thing. Focus on what is right and stop using your emotions so much if you want things to get better for you. Thank you very much for listening to my video. I like to say I am not a preacher. I'm only a philosopher.